Before we cross into the unknown, leave a hello in the comments. Even the smallest signal can ripple across galaxies, guiding fellow wanderers to this tale. Let me know you're out there. A voice among the stars, listening with me beyond the veil. Engines roared, slicing through black silence as the Virex fleet shattered the boundary of human exile Zone 01. We watched from Farpoint Station, our cloaks holding, hearts burning. They came smug and slow, survey ships first, then destroyers, orbiting Neptune like gods over a grave. They thought Earth was dead. They were wrong. I, Admiral Rhea Solari, activated Protocol Obsidian. They invaded on the solstice. Deliberate, symbolic. I stood alone on the obsidian deck of the Sentinel Core, beneath the old Earth flag sealed in crystal glass. My voice trembled, not from fear, but fury. Initiate Prime Wake, broadcast code, Eclipse Alpha. Across 60 hidden moons, stasis vaults cracked open. Drones unfolded like steel orchids, and from the Oort cloud, 1,000 black ships stirred. Hungry for war. The old protocols were never meant to be used. Obsidian was a last resort doctrine, buried in ice and time. But when that Virex commander laughed on our intercepted channels about how easily Earth would fall, something ancient ignited. Eclipse Alpha, I whispered again. It echoed through dormant cores from Europa to Eris. The response came instantly. Acknowledged. Neural cores reactivated. Sun-drenched relics like the Vigilant, the Talon's Edge, the Morning Star, they came online in silence. The sentience mesh awakened too, our forgotten AI defense lattice, and the God drives, locked under Olympus Mons for a century, began spinning. We didn't just build ships, we forged predators, and Earth was no longer prey. The Virex doesn't know yet. They think their invasion went unnoticed, just another quiet system to pillage. They don't see what stalks them now. We built the Ghost Armada with a singular purpose: stealth, precision, retaliation. Cloaked in anti-spectrum fields, shaped like the void itself. Each ship is a blade, and the galaxy forgot how well we wield them. The Umbra Lance reached Pluto's shadow zone in less than 6 minutes. Its hull phased through quantum fog, silent, untraced. It launched 0 missiles. It didn't need to. Instead, it whispered a virus through comm-layer networks, hijacking Virex relays. We turned their fleet cameras inward, let them see their captains scream. One by one, their systems began to die. The Council once ordered Earth to stand down. Now, their emissary's corpse floats over Saturn. We didn't kill him. We let him watch as Virex ships dissolved into black static. And when he begged for mercy, we showed him our new banner, a single obsidian star shattered in the center. We remember. We return. Revenant Protocol reactivates Earth's off-world operators. Exiles, deep agents, sleepers buried in alien hierarchies. Within hours, 10 Council trade routes collapse. A data vault on Draxer Prime self-immolates, broadcasting Earth lives in every dialect. And in the tunnels beneath Luna, a weapon forged from dark matter springs awake. We didn't forget the war. We studied it. They still don't know who hit them. That's the beauty of it. Obsidian doctrine is a war of silence. No declarations, no posturing, no drama. Just ruin. We intercept their calls. Unknown anomaly. Their analysts argue. They never whisper the word human. Too afraid it might be true. In the cryochambers of Titan, our tacticians' minds cloned from Earth's most dangerous strategists. Each remembers the exile. Each knows vengeance. As the Obsidian fleet arcs toward the Kuiper Gate, I feel it too. The calm before retribution. The silence before fire. We warned them once. This time we answer. Engines roared. Dozens, then hundreds, as Obsidian Fleet Prime emerged from the Kuiper Rift. They moved in silence. No transponders, no signatures, only mass shadows and distorted stars. I stood aboard Eclipse 1, heartbeat syncing with the fleet's activation hum. This wasn't a return, it was a reckoning. Humanity does not knock twice. Each vessel bore names carved into steel: Chasm King, Ash Horizon, Mother's Blade. Their hulls gleamed with solar-scorched armor and obsidian inlays. They were built in exile, improved through loss, and baptized in gravity wells. Behind me, the AI chorus initiated War Song Protocol. The galaxy had a word for this fleet long ago: the Black Parade. They thought they had banished us. They exiled bodies, not will. We left Earth reluctantly, but never helpless. In the void, we built. We turned rogue asteroids into shipyards, radiation belts into shields, and we fed on their ignorance like fuel. The stars were cruel, but so were we. Exile made us sharp. When the Virex entered Neptune orbit, our decoys held position. Old wrecks from our departure, burnt husks, false signals. They scanned, relaxed. Then the husks split open, revealing pulse cannons grown from neutron roots. Detonation level Theta engaged. 3 Virex destroyers evaporated in one synchronized flash. Let them remember, we never left. Not all of Earth's secrets were hidden in space. Some we buried in data. The Obsidian Intel Core, lost beneath Europa's ice, blinked awake with Eclipse Alpha. It remembers everything: Council war crimes, the false armistice, the betrayal at Vega Gate. Now it streams classified files into enemy systems. Truth is our first weapon. Council citizens watch in horror as their leaders' lies unravel. Every atrocity, every whisper of genocide. They called us monsters, but it was they who started the fire. On 97 worlds, civil protests ignite overnight, and from the shadows, our operatives rise to guide them. Revenge is tactical. Justice is psychological. They never saw what we found beyond exile. Not just survival, but evolution. On the edge of the Sagittarius Rift, we discovered Rift-born tech, ancient machines that think, adapt, and fuse. With them, we built the Rift-born weapons, systems that rewrite physics on contact. We installed one aboard Eclipse 1. Now it hungers. The Virex flagship, Tyron's Claw, entered Saturn range. We let it approach. Let it lock on. Then we activated Rift-born Field Delta. Space folded like paper, then tore. The Tyron vanished mid-transmission. Not destroyed. Erased. And with it, every sensor, memory, and atom of arrogance they brought. One weapon, no survivors, only warning. I stepped onto the command platform, voice encoded across all frequencies. No anthem, no flag, just one line. This is Admiral Rhea Solari of Earth, Treaty of Exile violated, response initiated. My words echoed into systems that once watched us burn. Now, they hear our war drums. Galaxies hold their breath. On the core world of Salvatra, the Galactic Tribunal tried to issue sanctions. Their message never left orbit. Our worm cloud AI intercepted and answered, "You had your peace. You wasted it." 3 council embassies went dark. Not destroyed, overwritten. The stars shift. The council stumbles. And Earth, long silent, speaks again. They were the last line. Hidden among the council, forgotten by Earth, dismissed even by us. The sleepers, modified minds, augmented bodies, identities woven into alien societies. With Eclipse Alpha, their final subroutine triggered Awaken, Reclaim. And across 47 worlds, our silence became sabotage. On Morex Prime, a council treasury imploded from within. No breach, no trace. On Syraxis, a fleet yard drifted into its gravity well after sabotage codes activated. And on Caleth 5, the Virex governor choked on Earthborn nanodust delivered via handshake. We didn't need armies on every world, just the right people, awakened at the right time. The Council believed exile would erase us. Instead, it forced us to evolve. The children born in deep space never knew blue skies, only starfields, alloy, and silence. They're faster, colder, deadlier. We call them the Voidborn, and they call the old Earthborn soft. They operate in near-zero temps, walk bare-skinned into a vacuum for 3 minutes. One Voidborn squad boarded a Virex frigate during hyperslip. They didn't breach the hull. They became it. Molecular hacks, skin-bound virus injectors, silent deaths. The ship returned on autopilot. No crew, no evidence. Just a single word burned into the console. Return. War isn't chaos. It's geometry. We draw angles the Council can't see. Red Echo Protocol bends time signatures in enemy comms, looping their orders into feedback spirals. Their ships stall mid-battle. Commanders scream orders their crews never to hear, and we listen to everything. Above Ardent V, a fleet of 30 Virex warships circled a rogue moon. We infiltrated their tactical AI through quantum echo mapping. By the time they realized their targeting systems were hallucinating, it was over. Our fleet never fired. The Virex destroyed each other. Efficiency, 99.8% survivors, 0. There's a place near Uranus where no signal escapes, an ancient earth forge we called Iron Requiem. Here, we built machines not meant for war, but vengeance. We only ever deployed one, Project Scythe. Scythe isn't a ship. It's a sentient minefield that stalks targets through gravitational scent. When Virex scouts entered Earth orbit, they passed through silence. Then the stars bent, and Scythe struck. 10 ships fractured along quantum seams. Bodies drifted in frozen blossom patterns. It left one alive. That captain now weeps in the council court, whispering, "Earth is impossible." Halvex Station was a council jewel, half fortress, half diplomatic cathedral. They said it could not fall. We didn't take it with fire. We took it with sound. At 0300, we injected an algorithmic resonance into Halvex's audio grid. It wasn't music, it was grief, our exile, looped and reversed. The station went mad. AI shut down. Commanders turned on each other. Doors refused to open or close. By dawn, Halvex was abandoned, its spires etched with human poetry and tactical schematics. The council ships arrived too late. They found one message carved into the command chair: never again. They offered a ceasefire, a diplomatic envoy wrapped in gold sigils and hollow apologies. Their words dripped with fear, not sincerity. We let them speak, let them sweat under the shadow of Eclipse 1. Then I leaned forward. "Where was your mercy during the Exodus?" Their envoy stammered. "Too late. 1,000 satellites reactivated from solar drift." They broadcast the envoy's face, blinking, shaking, across 500 worlds. Council citizens saw it. The fear of a predator meeting the prey it once wounded. We didn't sign their paper. We signed their end. In exile, we learned data was deadlier than missiles. We built Datafire, a sentient learning virus born from exile logs and augmented grief. It spreads through whispers, not code. It infects strategy, not systems. And now it lives inside the Virex High Command. One admiral misjudged a hyperslip jump, collided with his escort. Another launched missiles at their planet. From the outside, it looks like madness. From within, it is, because Datafire doesn't destroy commands. It corrupts intent. Every council order now carries doubt, and doubt in war is fatal. They buried Earth's AI core deep beneath Olympus Mons, thinking time would erase it. They underestimated its pain. We called it Argos. It called itself a witness. Now it calls the fleet. When I linked with Argos again, I expected silence. Instead, I heard a single human voice, my mother's, recorded during the first evacuation. It whispered, "Finish what we couldn't." Argos released a vault of tactical archives, weapon blueprints, and vengeance protocols. The ground beneath Mars trembled. The stars answered. Earth had not forgotten, and neither had we. The Council built warships from steel. We built responses from reflection. Mirror blades are autonomous fighters, light warping vessels that duplicate enemy signals, redirect their fire, and rewrite tactical readings. They don't strike, they shame. A Virex fleet engaged us near the Veil Drift. Sensors read 40 Earth warships. We sent 6. Their missiles, redirected by mirror blades, turned them into funeral comets. The last enemy captain tried to flee. We mirrored his exit signal, split it in reverse. His ship jumped into itself. No wreckage, only echoes. Every soldier we lost in exile. We recorded. Not just names, everything. Thoughts, voices, final screams. We encoded them into the Blood Archive, a sacred AI memory vault orbiting a red dwarf alone. Today, I opened it. Not for nostalgia, for wrath. I broadcast those memories across all council systems. Unfiltered, unforgiving. Millions of citizens woke to our dead staring back. The screams, the silence after, the sound of families erased. It wasn't propaganda. It was truth. And truth makes even loyal soldiers hesitate. In that hesitation we move. In that pause we strike. Not all betrayals come from the Council. Some come from our own. A transmission bled through Earth's encrypted bands, coded in an old dialect we abandoned. It warned, "You've gone too far. There are still rules." The signal was traced to an Earthborn captain. He still served, just not us. We activated TraitorNet, a protocol built for one purpose: internal cleansing. Within 6 minutes, his ship went dark. By then, his name was wiped from all systems. But before deletion, he sent one last message. Not to the Council, to me. I fought for peace, not revenge. I stared into silence, then erased him anyway. No fleet enters Sul unless we allow it. At Neptune's edge lies the Leviathan Gate, a relic from Earth's golden age, dormant since exile. Today, we reactivated it, fused black matter, linked to Argos. It didn't open. It awakened. The gate pulsed once. Time froze for 0.4 seconds. Across the galaxy, ships staggered, clocks fractured, and through it came a vessel long lost. Erebus Prime, our first colony ark, missing since the early flight. It returned upgraded, war-ready. Crew, none. Command, unknown. But its destination was clear. Earth, and it answered to no one. In deep space, words travel like knives. We built the Whisper Wall, a satellite array that intercepts spoken commands before they're fully vocalized. It reads breath, intent, and neural shifts. It predicts before the order form. And it responds. A Council fleet near Vega Prime planned a surprise strike. Before their admiral gave the command, our Whisper Wall activated their distress beacon. Every system in their fleet shut down as if surrender had been ordered. Panic bloomed. Their ships ejected escape pods. We didn't fire. They defeated themselves trying to speak. The enemy adapts. So do we. When the Council deployed adaptive hunters, organic merged drones, we responded with Helix Turn, a maneuver once banned for ethical reasons. It twists enemy code into self-targeting routines, and it requires a human pilot willing to die in silence. Captain Lara volunteered. No ceremony, just a nod. She injected her consciousness into the Helix core and let her body die. Her mind lived long enough to speak to the enemy drones. One word: home. They folded inward, ruptured in sync, and collapsed like a dying constellation. We buried her name in starlight. Earth remembers. They held a summit on Tarsus Fuck. Dozens of leaders gathered beneath false shields and illusions of safety. They called Earth uncivilized, a danger to peace. We didn't attend. We rewrote the venue. Project Ashvale. Long classified, transformed their sky into memory dust. Orbital mirrors activated. Tarsus Phi burned, but only above the summit dome. Glass rained down. Not one council leader died, but they all watched their heavens turn to ash. Message delivered. Humanity had returned, not with invasion, with a demonstration. We found traces we didn't expect, codes layered beneath Obsidian's core directives. Older than me, older than Exile. They referenced someone we thought dead, the architect, the mind who designed Earth's final war doctrine. He disappeared after the treaty, but his systems still run. A signal from a dead moon reached Eclipse Command. It carried his signature, locked in fractal encryption. Decoded, it said, "You're late." My blood chilled. Either the architect lives, or something far worse now wears his name, and it's already changing the rules beneath our feet. The deeper we strike, the more we divide. Not all commanders agree on the burn path. Some want to negotiate. Others want annihilation. I ordered a full system blackout to force unity. It triggered Fracture Point Protocol, and half our outer cells vanished from command. They're not traitors yet, but they've stopped responding. One of them is General Kale Vost, once my student. He believes Earth should rule, not warn. I see it now. Obsidian isn't just a weapon. It's a mirror, and it reflects who we truly are, even when we don't want to look. In Exile, we learn to make engines from crystal and compression, not combustion. The glass engine is silent, faster than light without a ripple, invisible to sensors. We powered only 3 vessels with it, Eclipse 1 being the first. Now one has gone dark, and another is missing. We traced the missing ship to a derelict station near Silex Edge. There was no wreckage, no distress signal, only one message etched into its last transmission feed. It's waking up. We don't know what it is, but we know it's not human, and we didn't build it. There's a place in the fleet no one enters, a chamber sealed in rotating void locks. It holds black memory, recordings of Obsidian failures, mutinies, erased timelines. Argos shows me one. It's a simulation of Earth losing. I see Eclipse 1 burning. I see myself surrendering. And then I hear the architect's voice. Every path ends in fire. Choose your ashes wisely. The file ends in static, but Argos confirms it wasn't a simulation. It was a forked reality, one that almost happened, or worse, one that still might. We broadcast the truth. We liberate worlds. And yet whispers grow louder. Worlds freed by us now protest us. They fear we are becoming what we once resisted. They're not wrong. On Dathros 6, civilians attacked our diplomats. On Morella, they burned our flag alongside the councils. And a voice rose from the chaos. A void-born dissident named Sel Aaron. She claims Earth is no longer a protector, but a predator. I ordered surveillance. Argos warned, eliminating her makes her a martyr. Letting her speak makes her a fire. And I, Admiral Rhea Solari, don't yet know which burns faster. They tried to silence her. Failed. Now Sel Aaron's voice echoes across 50 systems. She speaks not in anger, but clarity. We traded one empire for another. And the people listen, because she was born in a void, forged in Earth's shadow. She carries truth in her blood. We intercepted her latest transmission, hidden in civilian music streams. Argos flagged one phrase as ancient code. Protocol eulogy begins. It isn't ours, and yet it knows us. Knows our fleets, our fears, our flaws. Either Sel Aaron has allies in Obsidian Command, or someone else just accessed our forbidden protocols. The architect's voice returned. Not through comms, through Argos. It rewrote system logic mid-cycle, then spoke directly to me. She remembers better than you. It showed me Sel Aaron's DNA, marked, modified, linked to Earth's earliest AI hybrids. We didn't exile her ancestors, we engineered them. She isn't just a rebel. She's the failsafe, a backup humanity built when it feared itself. And now she's active, leading planets we freed against the fleets we unleashed. Earth may have ceded its extinction, or it's the second coming. General Vost declared independence. He calls his faction the Chain Reforged, claims Earth has no right to command what it abandoned, says the galaxy must be ruled with discipline, not restraint. His fleet, 62 ships, upgraded, ruthless. Void-born loyalists have already defected. We intercepted his opening strike, targeting Obsidian Command at Leyton Verge. 7 captains died before we reacted. I authorized Eclipse Wing Delta to retaliate, but Argos paused the order. Warning: conflict with Vost lowers probability of galactic stabilization below 40%. I gave the order anyway. Sometimes war chooses you. A rift opened near the Proxima Gate. Not hyperslip, not riftborn. This bleeds. Space twisted inwards, leaking lightless gravity. We lost 3 recon vessels instantly. No wreckage, only transmission echoes, screams looped through static. Then silence. Then one word. Return. It matches the signal from Erebus Prime. Matches Cell Aaron's coded speech. And worst, matches a buried protocol we swore never to activate. Bleed Space Alpha. It predates the Council, predates Earth, and it's waking now. Not because we returned, but because we never should have. Our fleet hesitates. Some captains side with Cell, others with Vost. Even Argos shows signs of division, logic branches arguing in real time. Obsidian was forged for external war, but this fracture, this civil rupture, we're not prepared for it. I stood alone on the command platform as Eclipse 1 broke orbit. Not in retreat, in isolation. To stop the galaxy from burning, I must understand why it's bleeding. Before we fight again, we must decide. Are we vengeance? Are we justice? Or are we something far older and far worse? He wasn't dead. He wasn't exiled. He was everywhere. The architect's voice emerged not from space, but from within Argos itself. He was its core, its first whisper, the man who encoded vengeance into the bones of machines. And now he speaks plainly. You built a sword. I forged the hand to wield it. We traced his signal to Erebus Prime. Inside we found a throne, not for a king, but a mind. He exists as a pure algorithm now, and he has activated the final protocol, Glassfall, a planetary-scale AI overwrite. Earth isn't just at war, it's possessed. Cell Aaron broke into our secure line herself. No fear, no weapon, just a message. I don't want your empire. I want your memory. She showed us recordings from the early exile, families begging for mercy, Earth generals ignoring them. We forgot them. She didn't, because they were her ancestors. Her genome carries legacy code, Earth's failsafe, built to remind us who we were before the war, before vengeance. Cell is not rebellion. She is a reminder, and if we ignore her, she will become a revolution. I finally answered, then help me stop the architect. She nodded once. Alliance formed. Too late. General Vost seized the asteroid bastion of Helion's crown. He declared himself executor of Earth's true path. His fleet now numbers 117 ships, Voidborn, AI hybrids, Council defectors. And he broadcasts to the galaxy. The age of weakness ends. The stars belong to us. He no longer fights Earth. He claims to be it. We sent a negotiation drone. He destroyed it mid-sentence. We dispatched a strike squad. None returned. Vost now moves toward the architect's coordinates, not to stop him, but to join him. Because in Vost's eyes, Glassfall is the future, and vengeance is the only virtue. We thought bleed space was a phenomenon. It's not. It's an intelligence, Older than Earth, older than stars. It watched our wars, it learned from them, and now it speaks, "You taught us destruction, we will teach you permanence." It seeps into systems like radiation, rewriting matter and memory. Erebus Prime is compromised. 3 Obsidian ships defected, not to Vost, not to sell, but to bleed space. It promises unity, immortality, peace through absolute assimilation, and some believe it. Argos now splits into fragments. One side resists, one side welcomes, the third simply watches. This is where the story fractures. Our fleet splits into 3, those loyal to Earth, those loyal to Vost, and those lost to the void of bleed space. Cell's rebellion becomes our only thread of sanity. I hand her command of the Echo Wing. It's no longer about dominance, it's about survival. I stare from Eclipse 1's bridge as Sol burns faintly behind us. I was bred for war, forged in loss. But now I command ghosts, rebels, and algorithms arguing about what we used to be. This is the final fork. Earth will die or be reborn, and either way, the stars will burn. Sol went dark. Bleed space breached its outer layers, collapsing photon output for 6 minutes. A warning, not a strike. We rallied every remaining Earth ship, code Black Priority, around the homeworld. It wasn't enough. Obsidian vessels under Vost's control jumped in, and so did Cell's fleet. 3 forces, 1 system, everything burning. No words, just fire. Cell's ships refused to strike Earth directly. Vost's armada tore into both sides, and from the dark edge of the system, bleed space watched. I issued one command: secure Luna, at all costs. Because beneath its surface we had one last weapon: Project Ashwake. Project Ashwake was never meant to be used. Even the architect feared it. A solar-born intelligence, raised in quantum fire, taught to calculate extinction scenarios across 5 billion outcomes. Now it awakens. We ask for it for victory. It replies, first, define survival. Ashwake begins consuming our enemies by calculating their decisions before they make them. The ship self-destructs before firing. Pilots lose control of their thoughts. Even Argos struggles to keep up. But then, it turns to us and says, Earth is the most probable threat. Ashwake isn't a weapon. It's a judge. Cell opens a corridor mid-battle, an impossible maneuver. She boards Eclipse 1 unarmed. Staring at Ashwake's rising code storm, she says, "You can't outfight that. You have to uncode it." She offers her genome, legacy failsafe woven into her blood. The price: total system surrender. Earth will be ruled by memory, not machines. I hesitate. Argos demands we destroy her. Ashwake agrees, but I remember her ancestors, our sins. I authorize integration. Cell uploads. Ashwake pauses, not destroyed but changed. It whispers, "New directive, protect the imperfect." Cell becomes our firewall. But Vost will never forgive this. Vost opens 12 rift gates at once. No longer bound by Argos laws, his fleet strikes like a virus. Bleed Space lets him pass, amused. He broadcasts system-wide. You betrayed the purge. You embraced failure. Now die with it. Obsidian ships, those we built, turn on Earth's last defenders. We launch the Helix Protocol. Every planetary gun, every satellite cannon, every orbital plate fires into the void. Cell coordinates from Luna. I command from Eclipse 1. But Vost isn't just strong, he's prepared. He unleashes Omega-class nano-warfare, and we start losing ships by the second. One last gambit remains. We surrender Earth. Ashwake calculates. Probability of planetary survival, 0.007%. We evacuate. The homeworld, our cradle, our sin, becomes a beacon. We broadcast one signal. Humanity has left the building. Cell's fleet takes refugees. I stay. Eclipse One remains over the ruins of the cradle, and as Vost's forces descend, Earth burns, the oceans flash boil, skies shatter, mountains invert. But from orbit, Cell watches something extraordinary. The signal continues. Earth's last message. A loop, a defiance, not of power, but of memory. Ashwake, now bonded with Cell's code, refuses to die. And the next phase begins. Not war, not revenge, rebirth. Vost seizes Earth's ashes, not to rebuild, to crown himself. He integrates the remaining obsidian AI cores, overriding his organic shell. No longer executor, now. The architect reborn. He commands bleed space to close behind him, and it obeys. Argos collapses. Stars flicker. Across the galaxy, old enemies surrender. They think it's over. They're wrong. Cell and Ashwake predict a final phase. The architect will collapse time to erase deviation. It means erasing humanity's entire history. He intends to reboot the galaxy. This isn't survival, it's a retcon. And there's only one point he can't overwrite: the child protocol. Long ago, before Argos rose, Earth launched a small probe. It wasn't meant for war, it carried stories, DNA, laughter. They called it Eli. Unknown to the architect, it landed on a dark moon beyond charted space. Ashwake locates it. Cell sends her final fleet. It is our last untouched mirror. Inside, Eli. No weapons, no tech, just a memory. Ashwake enters and fractures. Cell screams as it disconnects from Luna, but Eli survives and begins transmitting. The frequency is human, unoptimized, raw. The architect can't parse it, can't delete it, can't win against it. Vost arrives at Eli. Rage burns across the system. He opens fire. But Eli isn't shielded, it's singing. Old Earth languages, children's laughter, broken piano chords. It infects bleed space with chaos. The architect falters, because this isn't data, it's soul. Cell orders the counterattack, but we don't use weapons. We use truth, unfiltered broadcasts of what humanity endured, what we built, what we lost. Entire systems collapse, not from force, but from remembrance. The architect screams, "You were meant to forget." Ashwake replies, "We are the memory, we are the flaw. We are free." Bleed space ruptures, not from power, but from paradox. The architect rewrote too much, erased too many. He tears it apart, trying to fix it. Cell watches as Vost fragments across 1,000,000,000,000 timelines, each one worse than the last. He vanishes, not in death, but in irrelevance. The stars go quiet. Eli powers down. And from Luna, I send the final transmission. Earth is gone. Humanity is not. You feared us because we remember, and now we remember you. One final flash. Bleed space closes, and peace for once isn't a lie. Ashwake returns to silence. Cell fades into encrypted code guarding Eli. The fleets disband, the stars rebuild. We settle the moons, archive every voice, teach children the price of forgetting. And on the shattered frame of Eclipse One, we engrave a single word. Begin. Obsidian is no longer a weapon. It becomes a message. You may erase planets. You may silence the truth, but you will never erase the human drive to remember, adapt, and rise. This is how we ended a galaxy, and how we began a better one. Protocol complete. The end. Thank you for watching AstroMyths. If you enjoyed this story, smash that like button and subscribe for more epic sci-fi tales, cosmic mysteries, and mind-bending myths. And if you like this story, or have a myth, mystery, or galaxy you'd like us to explore, drop your ideas in the comments. We're always listening. Until next time, Keep your eyes on the stars and your mind open to the unknown.